Star Wars show. Truly, George Lucas must be so proud of what they've accomplished with his baby. Anyway, luckily for us, the ceremony gets interrupted when the mean stinky Jedi show up to kidnap the strong female twins because they think they could be powerful in the Force or something. You know, it's funny how there seems to be this real concerted effort by Disney to paint the Jedi in the worst possible light so that they can be replaced with something more modern. Anyway, strong female character number 5 doesn't appreciate this much and uses the thread as a weapon, even though it totally isn't a weapon according to them, to threaten token white guy with annihilation. Because really, who else out of this extremely diverse group of Jedi could she possibly choose as her victim? Anyway, eventually strong female Jedi is able to calm things down, and Squid Guy tries to win strong female character over to his side by handing her a lightsaber to play with.
Are you dumb or something?
Are you out of your fucking mind? She's a small child, and this is one of the deadliest weapons in the galaxy. Is this really how you want to attract someone to your cause? Like, what if she accidentally ignites it and cuts her own head off? Fucking mission failed right there, you dick. Anyway, so the Jedi's plan is to test the strong female twins to see if they've got force potential, so the communist lesbian space witches hatch the genius plan for them to intentionally fail the test so they'll be left alone.
Yes.
Wow, 4-dimensional quantum mega chess going on there, ladies. Well done. Unfortunately, it all goes wrong when strong female character gets found out in a matter of seconds and decides to just pass the test anyway. So strong female antagonist does the smart thing and locks her in her room and then sets her journal on fire in the middle of a stone hallway in a fortress that's made predominantly of stone. I mention the fact that it's made of stone so often because the fire quickly spreads and then engulfs the entire fortress, because apparently in this universe stone is more combustible than a 1990s shell suit. Oh yeah, and the communist lesbian space witches all die from boredom or something. Then strong female antagonist falls into a pit and strong female character gets rescued by Squid Game guy who agrees to take her to Coruscant and train her as a Jedi. But wouldn't you know it, strong female antagonist actually survived and begins her revenge trip. Wow, who could have predicted that when we totally know that she's alive 16 years later? You know, reviewing this episode is kind of an exercise in futility at this point, because really, what is the point anymore in complaining about nonsensical and contradictory writing, the horrendous cinematography, the wooden acting and the terrible dialogue? Those things are all par for the course in The Acolyte. You almost expect it now. The bigger problem now is that it's honestly difficult to feel much of anything for The Acolyte or Star Wars in general, because I think this show is proof, if you ever needed it, that this is just how things are going to be now. Star Wars isn't going to be saved by anyone. It's not going to go back to the way it was, and it's not going to improve in any meaningful way because there's no one left with the will or the talent to do it. The Acolyte represents their ultimate vision for this franchise. It's the perfect distillation of everything Disney and the so-called creatives at Lucasfilm want to inject into George Lucas's vision, and they're not going to stop. Kathleen Kennedy recently bemoaned all the criticism that she and women like Leslie Headland have taken for their creative decisions because the predominantly male fanbase just can't seem to recognize their genius. Well, congratulations, Kathy, because that seems to be a problem that you've gradually solved with every new show and movie that you've produced. If there's no fans left at all, then there's no toxic male fans left either. Genius. So in that respect at least, I guess you've kind of won by default. Congratulations, Star Wars is all yours now. And this here is your prize, an empire of dust, a franchise in ruins. And really, I hope it was all worth it. I hope it was worth the billions of dollars you've blown on failed projects over the years. I hope it was worth provoking the contempt and finally the apathy of millions of Star Wars fans that have just chosen to walk away. I hope it was worth it to have a legacy of absolute failure. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now. Sarah Connor, Clarice Starling, Buffy Summers, Ellen Ripley, Marion Ravenwood, Princess Leia, Dana Scully, Samantha Carter, Eowyn, Vi, Aaron Sun.
Power one. Yes.
One of the questions questions that comes up pretty regularly on Open Bar these days is, Drinker, you tough-talking, charismatic gunslinger with a dark past, when are you going to review The Boys Season 4? Ah, The Boys.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
You know, I used to be a real fan of that show, to the point where I actually gave the first season a Drinker Recommends Awards. And truly, what higher accolade can one bestow upon a work of art these days? Anyway, at a time when the superhero genre was already becoming kind of stale and played out, The Boys came along to completely tear up the rulebook. Funny, violent, irreverent, and